Okay. So, Steve Pierce went out after this meeting and he had 5 demos in 24 hours. Okay. 5 demos, 24 hours. Pretty cool. But and this has never happened in the history of my career. I've trained almost 9,000 representatives, 8,600 representatives in my career. I've been responsible for about $48 million in Cutco sales. And this has happened one time, but he went out and had 5 demos in 24 hours and he sold a Galley plus 6, and then he sold a Galley plus 6, and then he sold a Galley plus 6, and he sold a Galley plus 6, and he sold a Galley plus 6. 5 Galley plus 6 sales in a row. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of mankind, but here's why I bring it up. How many guys would like to just sell 5 of anything in a row? That'd be awesome. Like 5 homemakers, 5 starter sets, 5 sets, 5 order. You'd be fired up going 5 for 5. And he sold 5 guys. They must have all known each other and been related. I have no idea, but they all bought a Galley plus 6, which is really funny. But he said it was because of everything he learned in this meeting. I remember Lacey Ramirez in West Valley City, right? West Valley City, Utah, goes out Monday night, had 4 demos. Monday night, she sells a homemaker plus 8 right after this meeting, sold a trimmer, and then had a no sale, and then had another homemaker. 2 homemakers on Monday night. How many guys would freaking love having 2 pay raises practically in the next 4, 6, 8 hours, right? And it was because what she learned in this meeting. And I remember Colby Ashton. Colby had 3 orders before this meeting that added up, Austin, you'll laugh at this, to $300. 3 orders, $300, like, bro, right? And he had done 11 demos. 11 demos. Like, what are you even doing? And he was swearing. I'm not kidding. He was dropping F-bombs in this meeting. I was like, dude, stop talking like that. And he goes out, and then in the next 48 hours from Monday night to Wednesday night, sold over $3,000 in 48 hours. What took him 72, almost 100 hours to sell $300 in the first 3 days, goes out and sells in 2 days over $3,000 and made almost $500 in 2 days following advanced training. How many guys would love to have some great results like that? That's why this meeting is so important, and that's why you want to dial in. So number 1, phone tag is healthy. If you didn't write it down on day 3, write it down right now. Phone tag is healthy. It is absolutely something. It's motivating. How many guys ever miss a phone call from somebody, then they miss your call, then someone misses the other person's call, and then pretty soon people are dropping everything just to answer a phone call? Does everyone nod your head? You've been there before, right? So let phone calls go to voicemail. Don't short yourself anything. Don't be answering the phone calls in this meeting. If your phone rings, let it go to voicemail. Thumbs up if you can commit to doing that. All right, shouldn't be too hard, but I want to make sure you guys are, and I want to just point out, we've got some great results. We've got tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm not joking when I give you that total, over 10,000, almost more than that has been sold in the last 72 hours since advanced training, since day 3 happened on Friday. So no matter if you're stumbling into this meeting and you're like, man, I suck, or you did some demos, didn't sell, or didn't sell very much. Let's say you're 2 for 6 or 2 for 5. Every once in a while, there's someone that's probably 10, 15% of our training class is a little below average. Or here's the harder one. Trust me, who's ever been there? You've done this in life. You are your worst critic. Nod your head violently if you agree. You are your worst critic. So you think you suck at something, and your grandma and your mom and your bishop and everybody says you're great, but you think you suck, right? Who's ever been in that? And so like mentally you're stumbling. You're actually doing fine, but mentally you've been telling yourself, I don't know if this is for me. Who's had that quit moment? You're like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not kind of whatever, right? And that's life. You do that in anything. And then most of you are about average, where you're at, 2 for 3, you're 3 for 5, you're 6 for 7 or 10 rather, excuse me, and 6, 7, whatever. Okay. You've had some sales and some no sales. And then some of you are above average, right? You've had more orders, or you've had a higher average order, or you've had a higher number of orders, and you're pretty excited right now. And it doesn't really matter to me, and it doesn't really matter to your manager where you're at. I want you to know that. Would you judge yourself at Spanish in 3 days? No. Would you judge yourself with a boyfriend or a girlfriend in 3 days? Maybe, if it's glaring. I'm just kidding. But would you judge yourself in any sport, any endeavor in 3 days of doing anything? You wouldn't. So don't judge yourself on where you're at right now. And so it doesn't matter what's happened so far, because the fast start is literally 10 days for a reason. Right? There's up days, down days. Did you guys write this down in day 3 or some point? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. What is that? Well, remember, it's 1/3 of your days are fired up awesome, right? They're freaking great. And you have huge sales and all the things, all your wildest dreams come true. You sell a signature set, you sell an ultimate set, whatever. And then you have 1/3 of your days that are crap. You're like mad about it. You have your low sales or low results, or maybe you get ditched once or twice and you're ticked off about it. Those days stink. And by the way, welcome to life. Have you ever had amazing, elated days that you're just like on fire? Everything's great. And literally within a day, you could have the worst day of your career, worst day of your season, semester, worst day of your whatever, right? Worst day of my life. What do you think? Right. And then there's 1/3 of your days. No one laughs. Not even the Logan people that are near Preston, Idaho can laugh at the Napoleon Dynamite quote right there. Dang it. Okay. And then 1/3 of your days are awesome, are mid. They're kind of mid. How many guys ever had mid days in your life? Mid days in football and sports and class, right? Same thing in this job. So no matter where you're at, you have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And I want to add the caveat is when you're working hard. Let me give you an example, a good example. Let's say you're a student and you can't do demos Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe it's today, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can't work. Well, then you can't expect to have awesome days, terrible days, or mid days. Why? Because you're not really working. But if you're working, you're going to have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Double thumbs up if you're tracking. Well, guys, this meeting is just pointing out that that's still going to happen, but we're still going to teach you more on how to sell more Cutco. In fact, let me get past this for a minute and get to, no matter where your stats are so far. So I want to just say we're going to do some quick recognition, and then we're going to watch a video from a good friend of mine, Hal Elrod, okay? And it's just going to be about 16 minutes on how to have a big, fast start. And so let me just recognize what's happened so far. Everyone give me 2 fingers. Peace fingers. You got to get 2 orders by tonight. Who remembers why you got to get 2 orders by tonight? Because the Cutco vegetable peeler. I don't care if you sold an ultimate set. You have to have 2 orders by tonight, because if you have 2 orders by tonight, you get the Cutco vegetable peeler, which is the most appealing piece of Cutco ever created. And if you don't have that to show to your customers, man, they are missing out. They're missing out because you didn't get that thing, right? So you got to get 2 orders by tonight. So those of you that have had a limited schedule, and you maybe only done 2, 3 demos, you got to get that second order if you don't already have it. Let's do some quick recognition. Oh, red table knife, nod your head if you remember. You got to have 1 sale to someone that already owns Cutco, and that's for your whole 10 days. But those are 2 gimme prizes, like a red table knife for selling to someone that already is addicted to Cutco. That's easy. And then getting 2 orders by tonight to win that peeler. And then your first prize after that is the spatula spreader at $1,500. And then $2,500 is the cheese knife, $3,500 is the pizza cutter, $5,000 is the petite santoku, $6,000 as a pay raise, $7,000. I know I've missed a prize in there. The slicer, the butcher, and the there's one more prize. Okay, so we got a lot to win. But let's start with what's happened so far. This is everyone from the weekend. So again, some of the people that we're talking about aren't even in the room because they're in school, and I get that. Candon from the Provo office got $800 in sales, $855 in sales, but hasn't had her second order. She must have sold a galley, but she's at 1 order in at $855. Probably 1 more order gets a pay raise. Jamin is probably at school, but 3 orders so far. A little bit lower average order, $553. Trey's got his first sale, but not his second sale. Got to get that second sale. Celestia, she's at $1420. So that's pretty exciting. Average order right now looking at $284. So Celestia, I bet you there's some Cutco owners in there. They already had Cutco, so you won the red table knife. But your like lists are a little low. Would you agree? Like, you're like, how do I make a big like list when they already have Cutco, right? That's going to be something we cover in this meeting. So awesome job. You got a pay raise. You're $80 from your spatula spreader. You got 2 other prizes already, 5 orders. So that's awesome. And with double credit, I don't even know how many days of double credit you got, but you might have gotten a bunch of double credit because you might have referred some friends to the job. Remember, double credit, if you referred a bunch of people, that means whatever number I talk about, you might have double in there too. Olivia got 2 orders, baby. 2 orders from Provo, $1,400 in sales as well. Sam, what up, Sam? Congratulations, you got your first pay raise. That a homemaker? Am I guessing? Homemaker +8. That's exciting. $1,300 in sales right there. Got to get that second order. Give me 2 fingers, Sam. Please get that second order. I don't care what you sell. Just sell something, right? Tonight, get 1 order so you win that peeler, right? Austin Campbell, bruh. 6 orders, man. That's awesome. Congratulations. 6. You're in #1 spot for the number of orders, 6 orders, and $3,600. So I'm not sure what sets you sold, but you must have sold some sets, right? $3,600. So about an average order of $606, $606 roughly. So that's pretty exciting. And then Syl, I'm guessing it's Sylvia, Syl. She's at 1517 with 2 orders. Syl's from Southern Rockies, and she's got 2 orders, $1,500 in sales. Reagan's got 2 orders as well, so won the peeler. Gabby only at 1 order. Got to get that second order, Gabby, at 179. Ellie, what up, Ellie? Congratulations, $2,200. $2,200. You're at 5 orders, so your average order is right there at 450. Right, just under 450. That's great. That's awesome. So congratulations, right at company averages there, 5 orders. And then it looks like Savannah got your first order. Give me 2 fingers. Will you please get that second order tonight? Get that second order, my gosh. Okay. And then Chloe Madsen, she's actually got 6 orders as well. She's in school. She's in a meeting right now, excuse me. And she's got 6 orders as well, but a little less in sales. Got her pay raise and on her way to her second pay raise as well. And then Chase, bruh. Okay, congratulations, Chase, at $1,125. So 3 orders. So your average order is just under 400. So like 390 or 380 right now. So nothing, that's great. You should feel great about that. Okay, so I want to say congratulations. And now what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna watch a quick video. So you're gonna want to take notes on this. And so everyone go ahead and write down big fast start tips. And we're going to watch a video from a good friend of mine, Hal Elrod. Okay. Now, Hal is, he has like 5 books, and one of them is called The Miracle Morning. He sold over 3 million copies of this book, the first edition plus the second edition, well over 3 million. I'm going to see him in about a month and hang out with him, but he's sold over 3 million copies of this book. And the companion book is The Miracle Equation. Okay. By the way, he has been on Fox News. He's been on the Today Show, the Montel Williams Show. He's a keynote speaker and best-selling author, and he's a good friend of mine. He sold Cutco in the early 2000s and set records. He was the youngest ever representative in Cutco, either the youngest or the fastest. I can't remember which one's which, but the youngest or the fastest rep to ever hit Hall of Fame, which is, the highest levels in sales in our company. And he was coaching representatives for a good number of years. And I want you to take some notes on this video. He's going to share keys to having a big, fast start. And I love this video. Give me 4 fingers. Take notes. He's going to give you a bonus tip first. Then he's going to give you 3 tips or keys to having a big, fast start. So all you need to write down in 16 minutes is the bonus tip and then 3 keys to having a big, fast start. But what I'm going to do in the chat box for your viewing pleasure, this is not a video where you're just going to like mail it in, let it play, and not even listen and not pay attention. That would be a really bad thing, for you to do for yourself, right? What I'm saying is during this video, what you want to do is watch me throw in chat box fodder. I'll call it fodder. I'm just going to throw in, I've known Hal for 20 plus years, so I know all the background story, and I think the background story will benefit you. I know, I'm certain that the background story will be valuable. So at least take note of what I put in the chat box and think about it. And, or if you want to write down some notes, that's fine. But otherwise, just give me 4 fingers. Write down the bonus tip and then write down the 3 main tips to having a big, fast start. Thumbs up. Is that cool? All right, I'm going to reshare it so we got better, better quality of video. And I'm going to pause our recording, and we will come back to that. So right now, as you can tell, again, Provo currently sitting at the number 3 spot in the company. It's very, very possible that Anoka is going to count. They are having some huge week. They've been number one in the company 2 weeks in a row. So they might even climb over a space or two in the national report. But currently, Provo's number 3, Southern Rockies and Jesse, they're number 1 in the district manager league, and Salt Lake City's number 1 in the division manager league. And one of the reasons why our office and our division is doing so wonderfully, in the national race. Okay, what do I have to do here? I don't know why. I don't know how it's working. Okay, is because of our team builder program. Some of you referred friends. Thumbs up if you referred friends on Friday, and some of them got interviewed. Raise your hand if you know someone that got interviewed already. Maybe Ellie, you've had one. That's great. A couple of you have had one interview, and that's awesome. But here's the deal. You remember this contest. Nod your head if you remember this. One friend gets the job. Hopefully, you pick up this steak knife on Friday. Today's Monday. Hopefully on Friday, if your friend gets interviewed in the next couple days, they could maybe make it through training this week, and you can have a steak knife to keep forever, maybe before your fast start's over. Like you can literally walk into your demos on Friday night with a steak knife. K-bar, 3 of your friends start the job. We have to ship that in, but you get a K-bar knife, which is really unbelievable. AirPods or shades, some sunglasses. Look at my sweet shades, dude. Check these babies out. Oh man, are those styling or what? Now these aren't $200 glasses, but the ones in this
Oh, we
contest
don't
are.
get those ones?
Yeah, well, if you want, we can. These are Gooders. Gooders are good, but they're not the best sunglasses. They're Gooders, and I love these. I got these from the scuba shop, Shay. Yeah,
Chase would love those, I'm
yeah,
sure.
these are money in the bank right here. I mean, this was my Halloween costume, by the way. So anyway, but I played someone who got 5 friends on the team. So that was my costume, is I got 5 friends to start the job selling Cutco. So that, you get sunglasses. So I wanted to play that role. So that was my role on Friday night. Okay. On Halloween. But then 7 friends get the, I got a really tough crowd. One of you laughed at that. Come on. All right. So anyways, 7, you got the massage, baby. And then at 10, you get the iPad or the TV. So how many of you referred your friends? One more time, show me your hands. You referred friends on Friday, and I just want to say thank you. Some of them have been interviewed. Some of them you may not know they've been interviewed. Some of them have not been interviewed, and they're in the middle of getting scheduled for an interview, and that's awesome. But I just want to say thank you in advance, because we're going to do all the work to get your friends hooked up with the job. And if they get the job, boom, you get prizes. All right, you're with me? But how many were struggling, not struggling, you had a limit, you had an upper limit of what you could really get in that double credit, because you only had 17 friends in your phone, you only had 105 friends in your phone, you only had 67 people in your phone, you can only refer so many people. How many of you guys found that that was hard? And how many of you, let's be honest, have way more friends on social media, way more followers, maybe more friends, more Snapchat buddies than you have in your actual phone with contacts? You guys all have, raise your hand if you have more in the social media, right? Probably 5 times as many, or 100 or 10 times as many, right? So here's what I'm going to give you guys a chance to do. It's going to be something called putting up a post, right? And so it's like when you eat dessert at the restaurant, you got to take a photo that Graham's got to eat before you do. Who's ever done Graham eats first, right? That whole thing, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to help us win you prizes, to win you K-bar, earn you K-bar knives and steak knives, and it's through social media. Okay, so how many of you guys have ever put up a post before on something else? You went to a movie, you went to a game, you went to a restaurant, you took a picture of your food, right? I'm going to ask you to get a picture of you. So everyone, show me your phone right now. Show me your phone. Go ahead and take your phone. Show me on the screen. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead right now and pull up your last glam shot. I don't care. Your last senior picture, your last mission photo. Find your track photo, your soccer photo, a picture of you standing behind some wings at some place in Salt Lake City or whatever. Here's one that Abigail did. And this one, I think she had 3 friends start the job because she posted this. This is so easy, right? And then here's one of Mel on our team. And here's one of Christian on our team. And so if you have a cool photo, now here's the deal. Nod your head if you agree with me. Your Snapchat buddies, your friends, your followers on Instagram, they know you and they know your face. Nod your head if you agree. So my advice is, don't do a picture of your dessert. Don't do a picture of your dog. Do a picture of you where people that you know would be like, I know Ellie. I know Celestia. She's my friend. I know Sam. So find a photo of you, right? It doesn't need to be a knife photo. It doesn't need to be a Cutco photo, right? Just find a picture of you and then go to your most frequented social media network. So whether it's Faceplace, Facebook, Return Missionaries, or if it's Snapchat, if it's Instagram. And I'm going to give you guys a second to do this. Give me 3 fingers. I'm going to ask you to post on your social medium, and I'd love for you to do it in 3 places. We call this triple play. But check it out. Ready? 1 is Instagram. 1 is your school's Snapchat. How many of you guys are a member of your Salt Lake Community College class of 2028 or U of U class of 2027 or BYU class of 28, right? How many of you guys are like a part of that Snapchat group? Here's why you do it on that group, because they are, and if you're going to be going to school, Austin, I would suggest you get a part of this. There's always fun stuff. Where's the party? Where's the student activity? Where can you get free tickets to the U of U game? Because no one goes. That's why you would get free tickets to the U of U game. Did I just say that out loud? I just said that out loud. Well, I'm from BYU, so it just came out of me. I apologize. So am I losing friends or making friends right now? Utah State people are like, screw you, Phil. BYU sucks. Okay, so anyway, but go to your school Snapchat, like that class, that Snapchat group, and if you're not part of it, join it anyways, because you'll find awesome stuff. But we're gonna ask you to do this. I don't have Snapchat, right? I can't put up an ad on Snapchat because I'm freaking not 20. I won't say how old I am, although you're in my training class, you know, right? So just you want to put up a Snapchat post, and here's what you need to do. 3 things. Give me 3 fingers again. 3 fingers again. Chase, what you need to do is you need to put $21 base pay, put flexible schedule, and put IMD student work. Okay, Austin, put $21 base, flexible schedule, job with a link. You guys know how to do a link on Snapchat? It's what? Swipe up or attach to snap, So do attach to snap on the Snapchat post, and or do the link on Instagram, or what do you call it? Facebook. Now here are the pages. Those are right there that you see there. Those are the websites we'd like you to use. Those are the websites we'd like you to use. And so I'll post those in the chat right now. And we'd love for you to post your manager. Okay. Go ahead and post your manager, or post, what do you call it? Tag your manager. Okay. By putting these, by putting those, your managers at, what do you call it? Their handle, right? At Kenzie Smith _ at P Gannier for Patrick, at Shay _ Hampt.
That's
So
if you do Instagram, but obviously
you
if
do
it's
Instagram.
Snapchat, it's different.
So yeah, do your bestest. Okay. Okay, I'll give you guys a second. And here's the deal, guys. We're asking you to do this, and if you do this quickly, we can move on. But more importantly, guys, I would put it up for sure. And here's why, Celestia. Maybe you have 7 friends that are already setting up for interviews. And if they see you post about this and they got a text, they'll be like, oh, this is that thing that texted me. This is that thing that Celestia, or maybe they ignored our text, Ellie. If they ignored our text and they're like, this is a robot, this is a bot, but then they see you post it on your social media, they know that it's legit. How many of you guys got this text, or you're like, I don't know if it's real, right? But then you see a post on the Instagram and people are like, oh yeah, that's what she was talking about when she texted me. And again, do that link, right? So that you can do at IMD student work. That's the one I would do, is IMD student work, or srstudentwork.com, Southern Rockies. Okay. Is everyone with me on that? So let's go ahead and take a second and do those online posts. Got it? All right. Once you've done that, go ahead and send me an individual message in the chat. Go ahead. I want to get like 7 messages right now. Send me a message that says 3 or 2 or 1 or 3, which is, if you posted on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, that'd be 3. If you posted on Facebook and Instagram, that'd be 2. right? If you did Snapchat and the school Snapchat is for your wall, your friends, but school Snapchat is people you don't even know, but they go to your school. So that's why we like to see you do the school Snapchat as well as your own Snapchat, right? But go ahead and post those in there. And in the Snapchat, I'm sorry, in the chat box here, go ahead and tell me how many times you put on anything, okay? And again, some people have limited social media or some people have no social media, but most people have at least one, like a Facebook from your mission account, you know, or something like that a lot of times. And you'd be surprised how many times people see that and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been following him on his mission and now he said he's excited, right? And Shay wants more followers. So add Shay on Instagram. So add me
I'll
too.
follow you back.
Mhm.
I can be pretty cool every
Mm,
other day.
yeah. She's got some, they're like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 days Shay's totally cool. There's 1/3 day she's totally not cool. And then there's a third of the days where she's pretty mid. Pretty mid. Okay. So
I can agree.
but
I can agree. Yep.
but at least if you're trying, you know. I don't care who you are. That's funny stuff, guys. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds more to post that on Instagram, Snapchat, FacePlace, and all the things. Okay. All right. Good stuff. At least you can use social media for something positive, right? Okay. Okay. Moving along. Moving along. You have a drinking problem here. I just got a water bottle that had water in the lid or something. Okay. Good. All right. Hey, getting paid properly. Raise your hand if you want to get paid properly. Let's go ahead and jam on this with your QPR. Write it down. It's the 4th tab of your workbook. 4th tab of your workbook. What did you say, Phil? Well, I said it's the 4th tab of your workbook, Austin. Although if this even gets filled in, I'd be surprised for half of you because you've already made more than the base pay. If you're making more than the base pay, you don't even need to fill this out. But when you're only at 10 or 15%, raise your hand if you want to make sure that your base pay is in there, that you're getting paid properly. You guys get direct deposited in like 100 hours. Like literally on Friday morning, you're getting direct deposited. So do you want that paycheck to be correct and get to be as big as possible, right? So I want to point out that this is due on Monday night. Look at my screen. We have tonight, there's a reminder right here that tonight, Monday night por la noche, tonight, when you're done with your last demo next Monday and this Monday, we want you to go ahead and fill this out so you get paid properly. And it's the 4th tab. Your schedule is the 2nd tab, but your 4th tab is your work, your QPR. And this is where you would put in, you remember I did this on Friday, right? You said, oh, my first demo was Halloween afternoon, and my first demo was at 3:30, and the trick-or-treaters came, and everyone loved it, and they bought a Homey Plus 8. So you put in you put in every bit of information for every demo, not just the ones that didn't buy, but the ones that did. Okay. So there's an example, and then you would go here and do your 2nd demo. And if you forgot to do this weekend, it's not the end of the world. Just get it done tonight. Okay. And let's say you saw the Smiths. Okay. And then they were no sale because they have vacation to pay for. Right? No big deal. And then you saw the husband and the wife. Maybe you saw the wife by herself and you got 10 referrals and let's say 0 sales. Okay. Does everyone understand how you'll put that in there, guys? Got it? All right. All right. Good. So that's how we do our QPR. And is it done? Shake your head no. Definitely not done. What's the other thing you guys got to do? You got to click over here to submit. Nod your head if you see that. Now watch this. I click near it. Look what happens. Right? In there, there's a document, a Google form link. It's very important that you watch this so you can get paid properly on your base pay. If your commission's more, you don't care anyway. You can stop listening. But anyways, you put your name and your rep number and your stuff, and you put what office you're part of. Put in the demo of your first demo, the date, 2nd, and then your last demo of this pay period. Last demo of this pay period, which is tonight, hoy por la noche. And then you did 12 demos, 7 sales, $2,800. And yes, you're not a liar. Bam, you submit. Capiche? All right, guys. So there's that. That's your QPR. Is there any questions about the QPR? Nope. Going once, going twice, going thrice. So let's just choose some quick reminders, okay? Write down 10, 80, 10, everybody. Write down 10, 80, 10. What is 10, 80, 10? Well, you can read it, can't you? 10% of the people you show, guys, you could be amazing at selling Cutco, like absolutely off the chain. And there's just some people who's had a grandpa or an uncle or a dad who's like, you can't fix stupid. Who's ever had someone say you can't fix stupid? And there's some people they'll buy it once, use it every day, never have to buy it ever again, save time and energy, and they still won't buy it. You can pay them $1,000, they won't buy a dang knife from you. And you're like, dude, you're a dummy, right? And you're mad and kind of ticked off, right? And you know what? Some people just won't buy. And then there's some people, Austin, and they're just like, boom, take my money. You say the word Cutco, they're like, I'm in. I want to buy a signature. I want to buy a homemaker from you, Chase. And they buy a homemaker. And raise your hand if you like that customer. Everybody likes that. But where is most of the bulk of your work going to be? It's going to be with the people where it depends on what you do, Savannah. Here's an example, Celestia. I know you had 6 orders, I think it was. And your average order was just smaller because you haven't quite learned really smoothly how to make those bigger orders when they already own Cutco. So it does depend on you how much they buy as well as if they buy. How many of you guys want to increase the number of orders you get? How many of you want to increase that? And how many of you guys want to increase the average order? Yes. And the next thing we're going to go over, the next stuff we're going to go over, today's meeting, the rest of the meeting is all about how to make 80% that are close, maybe, maybe not, they buy. And then you have the 10 that always buy. You should and you can be selling 90%. Write down 90% is the goal, right? Again, there's some people you just can't fix stupid and some people won't buy Cutco. It's okay. But your goal is to help as many people as possible buy Cutco. And that's why we, work on this together. Okay. So a couple of quick assumptions you want to do is realize your customers are closer to buying than they're acting like it. Let me say that again. Your customers are closer to buying than they're acting. Right? And most sales are lost in your head before they're lost in the customer's head. It's so easy to think, oh, it's not going well. I don't think she's going to buy. Right? Trust me, they are going to buy when you keep following the manual and don't let those bad seeds enter your mind of like, oh, I don't know if they're going to buy, that type of thing. All right. Next thing I want to cover is how to turn a no sale. Write this down. We're going to teach you how to turn a no sale into a sale. Raise your hand if you want to do that. Right? A no sale into a sale. And who likes to turn a small sale into a big sale? Raise your hand if you want to do that. Turn a small sale into a big sale. So we're going to teach you guys how to turn a no sale into a sale and turn a small sale into a big sale. Okay. And so there's lots and lots of ways to do that. Okay. And so we're going to start off with working on how to give certain deals with free stuff. Who's already noticed that if I were to go to this and go to this and go to this and go to this, okay? So I'm just going to do this a quick, some examples here. So let's say I'm in my cart someday. All right. So I go here and I'm in the shop. And let's say we want to give a better deal. Let's say they really, really want to get Cutco and they're really, really wanting a good deal. Nod your head if you like. I had people do that. They wanted a really good deal. They wanted to get Cutco. What did you do this weekend? If you called your manager, you sold way more Cutco. If you didn't call your manager, you didn't sell Cutco. Let me pause on that and just say, some people are like, well, when do I call? When do I call? How many guys were like, I don't know when to call exactly? Nod your head if you like, yep. Okay, what you want to do is when they're on or you're on the set that you think they will buy them, like that's the one they want the most. But they're like so close, but not quite buying. Raise your hand if you've had that situation. They're like so close, didn't quite buy. They should have bought the homemaker, should have bought the galley set, but they didn't, right? And that's pretty normal. And so I want to make it very clear. What I'm going to teach you right now is how to find and get the sale in those situations, right? Small orders, big orders, that type of thing. So what I want you to do is I'm going to go back to this slideshow and I'm going to show you how to push the limit on free stuff. Pushing the limit on free stuff will help you sometimes turn a what? It'll help you turn, why can't I do this? Turn a no sale into a sale and turn a small sale into a big sale. Give me just 10 seconds, guys. I need to take care of one thing with the child. Okay, so we're turning a small sale into a sale and then a small sale into a sale and then a no sale into a sale. What this could do is actually double the number of orders you have. Instead of going 3 or 4 out of 10, you go 6 or 8 out of 10. And then your average order goes from 300 to 500. You guys realize that would double or maybe triple your sales. Just getting 2 more orders and having an average order go up by $100 or $200. There's lots of ways to do this. So remember, when it comes to, I'm going to first talk about turning a no sale into a sale. Turning a no sale into a sale. All right. Got it? Turning a small sale into a sale and a no sale into a no sale into a sale and a small sale into a big sale. And I'm going to move this slide into this slide. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look here. Let's say they're almost going to buy 1 knife. Okay, but they're close, but no cigar. Now, in your manual, you guys know there is slide, right, where we go here and we go down to the buy now bonus. You know that you're on the customizing options, right? Customizing options, they can buy 5 pieces, get such and such for free, right? And if that doesn't quite work, we can do what? Buy 3, get 1 free. Now, Jared, you're like, I've seen this, Phil. I know what I'm doing. Okay, that's perfect. But what if it's not in your manual? Because what is it in your manual? In your manual, it's if you buy 2 things, you get a scoop or a peeler. Who remembers that? Buy 2 things, get a scoop or a peeler. Well, what if they buy 2 things, a spatula and a petite carver, like a mid-size utility knife? And it's worth 200 and some odd dollars, but what if you squeeze in the paring knife? Instead of a $60 pizza cutter, $60 peeler, $60 ice cream scoop, you give her a paring knife for free. That's like 24 points, and your CPO, your sales go to 149. So let's just look at that right here. Oh, I want to go in the cart. Okay, so watch. What do? I do the spatula. Now watch me do this, guys. This is very important. You don't miss it. And I go to give the paring knife for free right here. But if I try to give it for free, oh, it will say it. It squeezes it in there, right there. It's supposed to be buy 3, get 1 free. But because they're buying 2 knives that are big enough, over 200, I can hit checkout and it's going to let me, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. See, look what just happened to the thumb. Do you guys see that thumb? Watch, I'm going to make it unfree. Thumb's green. Got it? Now, just for even really kicks, I'm going to go and delete that puppy. And let's do the normal special. The normal special, watch me, guys, is the peeler for free. So I add that in there and I make it for free. What happened to the thumb? It went orange. Orange is cool. It's like a yellow light. You can go through it. It's not a big deal. But watch, if I make that paring knife the freebie, if I make that paring knife the freebie, normally it's worth 200, sorry, all those knives together are worth $315. And we're going to do it for only $232. You're saving $83. You're saving $83 if you subtract 232 minus 315, or the other way around. You're saving $83. And my CPO, your CPO would only be 149, but who'd take 149 at 20% and make $30 an hour? Who'd be excited making $30 an hour? You could sell this little dinky $150 order. They spend $232 because they get a free paring knife. So that instead of being $400, they're getting, $300. They're getting all that for only $232. And you're giving a good deal because you're giving that one for free. But if you could get behind that, so can your customers. So instead of being a 1 knife sale, Sam, or instead of being a 2 knife sale, it winds up being a buy 2, get 1 free. Who thinks customers could get into that? I mean, Smith sells it to them. Buy two, get one free. Buy three, get one free. Smith's does it. If they can do it there, they can do it at Bed Bath and Body Works. They can do it at Cutco. All right. Any questions? Who feels like you? Oh, and that was the other thing I was going to cover. But who feels like this is helpful? Good. Liking this, Austin? Check this out. You wearing a Bears hat? No, you're not wearing it. Is that RSL? What are you wearing? RSL. Okay. All right. Okay, now check it out. Bears had an awesome, my Chicago Bears, right? Had an awesome victory yesterday. Look what just happened. The thumb went orange. Sorry, red. Guys, if you go into the orange, look at me. You're going to have to do what the slide says. You're going to have to go in there to the bonus point limit spot and push your limit a little bit. But what's the answer if you ever need to push the limit? What's the answer? Call your manager. We'll do everything we can to hook it up, right? So what do? I take that and I say, okay, I'm going to move that from 20 to 25. And if I have to, look what just happened. In fact, I did. When I put that in the cart, what did it say? It was 24%, just under 25%. But they're getting a really, really good deal. They're spending less than that per month on the smallest knife they're getting, and they're getting it for free anyway. You guys like that? Are you glad we did this? Okay, good. All right, just looking for some reassurance. Okay, validation, people. I need it. Okay, so next thing I want you to put down, guys, is how to turn a small sale into a big sale. Turning a small sale into a big sale. Okay, turning a big sale into a small sale into a big sale. So they're almost going to buy a homemaker. Who's been there? They like the homemaker, but they're not quite going to buy it. That's like every demo, right? And before you go to the galley, what if you sweeten up the deal on free stuff here? Before you go to the galley, what if you sweeten up the deal on free stuff? Make sense? Say yes. Okay. So now let's go to the cart. Ooh. What I do, I'm going to go here. I'm going to empty the cart. Let's do a new option here, guys. I'm going to throw a homemaker in the cart. What do we give for free, guys, on a homemaker? What do we give for free? Well, it's my aunt and uncle, Phil. So I'm going to throw in the scissors. And then remember, write this down, guys. Don't give the entertainer pack. Don't give the entertainer pack. Because that they're just going to trash that thing. They're going to throw it away. And it costs you money to give it for free. So what am I doing here, Sam? I'm giving the individual cheese knife, individual ice cream scoop, pizza cutter, ice cream, veggie peeler. And what am I doing here, guys? I'm going bonus, bonus, bonus. Okay. And then here, I'm going to go bonus here. Now, holy moly. Look at what they're getting here, guys. I want you to look at this. Write this down with your pen. Write down, always quote 4 numbers. And guys, this happens in a car dealership. It happens with a real estate agent. It happens with a waiter or server in the restaurant. Always quote 4 numbers. You guys ready for the 4 numbers? You're going to say, Miss Jones, today you're getting $2,349 value. $2,300 worth of products, Cutco products, for only $16.64. So the second number is the price. And in this case, we're just going to give away a bunch of free stuff. Oh, look at that thumb. Am I under 20%? Yeah, I'm under 20%. So this is legal. Thumbs up if you think this is legal. I'm giving more free stuff, but I'm still getting a legally in a good order here, right? And then this third number is the price today. Did I say that right? You're getting $2,349. What did I say the second number was? This is being recorded. I can look back, but who told me what the second number? Did I say the second number? Okay. You're getting $2,349 for only $16.64. So you say the price is the second number. And that's over almost $600 in savings. $16.64 from this is about 600 and some odd dollars for free, almost $700 for crying out loud, almost $700 off. Now look right here, guys. It says it's only $425 off. Look at me. Who sees thumbs up? You can see $425 off. Okay, now look over here. These 5 items are worth $425. These 5 items are worth $425. But why is it almost $800, $700 cheaper? Because the set itself is a discount. Remember, they're buying a homemaker, and the homemaker has a discount by being a set. So in this free subtraction from 2,300 down to 1664, we're counting what? The set discount and the free stuff discount. But if you just say you're getting $750 off this order, they're like, why would I not buy this? Right? It just doesn't make sense to not buy a set of Cutco. And that's what you got to remember. But look, it's more fun to buy more Cutco than it is to buy less. I would write that down. It's more fun to buy more Cutco than it is to buy less. More fun to buy more Cutco than it is to buy less. I promise you guys, your customers are super fired up to get that, you know, and it's a smart purchase for them. Okay. Now, in this case, the last number you would say, look at me, the last number of the 4 numbers is it's only 336 today. Notice that I dropped that blue bar. Boom. And what do you see? 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. And I would just say it's only 336 plus tax today. 336 plus tax. Okay, any questions? Stretch that shoulder, Celestia. Okay, so stretch that. So 336 plus tax. So the 4th number. When you say they're getting that much of a discount, Austin, do you think your customers are excited to hear that? You're getting this much off. And look at what they're getting here, guys. I'm still within the limit to even give an extra thing. So what if it's my aunt and my uncle? Right? My aunt and my uncle, and they're so close. Who has that aunt and uncle? And they really, really love the can opener. Watch me, guys. Boom. Now that thumb, oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta make it free. Gotta make it free. Okay, now I make that 3. Look what just happened. If I'm ever in person, look at me. If I'm ever in person, I'm gonna make that, like, show her. Ms. Jones, do you see how the thumb just went down and it's red? That means you're taking advantage of me. They're like, okay. But when you tell them, Ms. Jones, that means you're taking advantage of me. Our company doesn't like that order, but I'm going to place the order for you. You're getting $2,420, $2,400 worth of Cutco for only $16.64, bruh. It's almost $800 off. And it's only 336 today, plus tax. Okay. That's such a good deal, guys. It's such a good deal. Okay. Is there any questions on how to do that? Hey, you want to mess around in a galley set? Let's mess around. Let's take this out. Let's delete that puppy. And we'll delete this puppy. And we'll delete one of these. I'll delete the pizza cutter for now. And now everything's free. That's kind of funny. There's no way that order will even go through. But watch, I go to the galley plus 6. What is she doing? She's buying a galley plus 6, getting 3 of the entertainer pack items for free, and a cheese knife. The flag is just barely over 20%. But if she was so super tempted to buy the homemaker and didn't buy the homemaker, but they're really, really loving the galley, what am I going to do if I have to? Give them something for free. A little extra free stuff. If that's too much, you know, if she says, don't give me all that, that's fine. I'll just take that out. And I'll make that either, probably be purchased, or she can just not have it on the order. She's getting a galley plus 6. She's getting it for $1,657 package for only $11.99. That's $460 off today. $460 is what she's now. The free stuff is only $300. But why is it? more of a discount because of the set discount. Does everyone understand that? And then boom, you place the order, checkout. Okay, any questions? We got it? Marvelous. Okay, so that's that one. Hey, what's the answer if you don't know the answer? What's the answer if you don't know the answer? Yeah, just pick up the phone. And some of you are doing an awesome job of that. Like you're killing it. You're calling in, you're wearing out my phone. And I appreciate that. Those of you in the Salt Lake City office, of course, you're wearing out my phone. But if you're not wearing out your manager's phone, why do they even have a phone? There's no other reason for them to have a phone. They're there literally to support you in the middle of the game. You know what I mean? In the middle of the soccer game, your coach is running up and down the sidelines with you. And that's what your manager is there for. So remember, calling in for deals. But how many guys were like, I don't know when to call in? You're like, I don't, he said call during, after, before, all that, but I don't really know what to say. Guys, when you're on the set, let's call it, look at me, the set. The set is the set that they really, really want, that they really, really would use, and they're just not quite sure they want to spend the money. Nod your head if you're like, okay, been there. What you want to come across with is a lot of conviction. Okay. It just, you get a lot of conviction on why they should get it and they'll love it. That makes sense? Okay. They're looking for your conviction. Now, let me teach you how to, this one you got to write down. This one is one of those things where you're like, you learn it. Who's ever learned something in math? And you're like, dude, I got this, man. Pythagorean theorem, no problem. I got this. You go home 4 hours later, you're like, what the frick? I do not remember this at all. How many of you guys ever been in that situation where you're like, you got this, but 4 hours later you forget? This is one of those things. I want you to write down secret weapon, or friends and family discount. So write down friends and family discount, secret weapon, and even write down trade-in special. Trade-in special. Okay? Trade-in special. Okay? Friends, a trade-in special. And what they do here, I want you to write this down. Discounting table knife and steak knife sets. Discounting table knife and steak knife sets. Who's got that Unc or Karen, Aunt Karen? They're just like, all right, I just want a discount. I want the cheapest deal. Tell you what, I'll buy the homemaker right now if it's $200. And you're just like, Grandpa, cállate, right? And he's just trying to like get that discount. Who's got that aunt who just super cheap, frugal? Raise your hand. Everybody's got that. This is when, listen closely, they're going to trade the free stuff for a discount. Trading the free stuff for a discount. Now, the other part of this, guys, is in the days of pre doing virtual demos, whether it was COVID, we had virtual demos for like 5 years before COVID, but like we used to go all in person. How many of you guys have heard these stories, right? And we used to take their junk knives. Now, who's ever traded in a phone to get a new phone? Who's ever traded in a car to get a new car? Or mom and dad have. Traded in some old video games to get new video games. Traded in old clothes to get a discount on someone else's old clothes, right? And who's ever traded in a boyfriend or a girlfriend to get a better one, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay. If you, in the old days, legit, Austin, we would take their knives and they would give you like, they had 400 old knives, crappy knives. They would give you like 350 and they would keep their good knives, 5, 6 good knives, fairly good knives. And they would dump knives. Reps would walk in with a drawer full of knives. It was funny. But since you might be doing virtuals, you don't need to take their knives. But let's be honest, if you get rid of your iPhone to get a new iPhone, are you jacked? You're like, I got a discount. I got rid of my crappy old phone. I got my new phone. You're so pumped. So if you ever want to, take their crappy knives. I mean, who's not going to use their Cutco when they get their new Cutco when they got rid of their old knives? You don't have to take them all, but if they justify the purchase by giving you some shishi knives, tell me you're not going to be making some sales. But let me remind you, if you don't take their knives because they're virtual demos or you just don't take their knives, what are they trading here, guys? You wrote it down, right? They're trading the free stuff for a discount on the sets. And by now you've all read the slide. Oh, I'm not sharing screens. Okay, so let me go ahead and have you write down where we just wrote down trade-in special. Oh, you know what? I realize we're not sharing it the right way. Let me fix that for you guys. Okay. They're gonna trade in the free stuff for a discount by using the B blocks. Everyone write down in big letters, B blocks. Who's seen the cart before and you got B blocks down here? Thumbs up. So you got B blocks. Now I want you to watch me do this. Here's the cart, and we throw in any one of these sets. Notice it's the ultimate, signature, homie, galley, blah, blah, blah. Any set that has table knives or steak knives, right, Ellie? Without the table knives or steak knives. It's the block that holds them, but the prices are different. So watch me empty my cart. I hate when it takes long to do this. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so I'm going to empty that cart today, someday. Let's go. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is scroll down to the B blocks. And let's just do the homemaker one for fun. So the homemaker's in there. Now watch me do this, and I would take note if you want. I go to the homemaker pieces. I go to the table knife. What's missing from this block? Table knives are missing, right, Austin? Okay. What do? Watch me do this. I put one table knife in, and then I put another table knife in. One and one. And now what do? Is I make this a 7. So I got 7 in there. Now what's in the package? A homemaker plus 8. But look what I do. You ready for this, Celestia? I go boom, bonus. What? She gets a homemaker plus 8 in the package. Normally with the set discount, it's $19.24. But with the set discount, it's $16.64. How many does that sound familiar? The homemaker plus 8, $16.64. Right, Sam? But wait a minute, it's not $16.64. What is it? It's $13.60. $13.60. She is getting $600 off that homemaker. Now, Sam, I'd rather give him free stuff. Chase, if you sold a homemaker, Austin, if you sold a homemaker, you would rather get them scissors, cheese knife, pizza cutter. All the free stuff's going to get jacked up more than the knives. Let's be honest. Raise your hand if you agree. Pizza cutters, cheese knives, ice cream scoops, peelers, and scissors get jacked up and used more than knives sometimes, right? So if you already sold a set with all the free stuff, that's way better. Way better. More Cutco in their kitchen is way better than a discount for 50 years. But if they're so close, who's got that unk? They just want the discount, right? So here, what are we doing? We're getting them a deeper discount on the set. Essentially, Chase, we're trading out the free stuff for a discount and another discount. They're getting the regular discount that's $1,924 down to $1,664, normal price of the homemaker. But now we're getting it for $1,360, dude. Holy moly. And now the payment went from $336, Ellie, down to $276. So she's literally saving $60 more a month by buying it as a discounted set, trading in, Kyla, the free stuff. Instead of scissors and all the stuff, she just gets the bare bones on the set. Because what's really free now? Most of the table knives. The way I would think about this, guys, for table knife sets only, is for the homemaker and below, I would just think of it as a B block homemaker plus 1 and get the rest for free. B block plus 1 and get the rest for free. Oh my goodness, Phil. Okay, watch me do this. It's a homemaker. B block plus 1, and the rest is free. Homemaker B block plus table knife, 7 for free. Or on an ultimate, listen to me, guys, on signature sets and steak knives, and ultimate sets with steak knives, you have to have them buy a couple 3 steak knives. All right, Austin. So they buy an ultimate B block with no table knife, no steak knives. 3 steak knives give 9 free. And by the way, who's been in class and your teacher teaches something, and then 4 hours later you're doing your homework, you're like, I can't remember what the heck they freaking said in class. Who's ever been frustrated because you forgot what the teacher said in class? That's when you do what? Just pick up the phone, right? Call your manager and say, dude, this is my unc. He's trying to get a good deal. I got to do something. What can I do, Phil? Kyla, you call me tonight. We like, yeah, we'll figure this out. Let's get the right deal. Got it, guys? This is money in the bank. Guys, this is awesome. Any questions? I feel like there's probably 1 or 2. Anyone need a review of anything here on like how to do it? Oh, hello. If there's one, let me know. You don't need to type it. Just say it out loud. I'm going to give you guys a couple screenshots in the chat box right now. I'm going to give you guys a couple screenshots in the chat box. It's very, very valuable stuff. I would save these on your desktop. So like, you know how on Zoom, you got to like click on it once to get it to download to Zoom. And then you got to click on it again to like put it on your chat box or put it in your folder on your desktop or whatever. And if you want me to text you, if you want your manager to text this to you, do me a favor, just go ahead and text me and your manager. So if you're in Chris Patrick's office, right, Savannah and Ellie and Celestia, or yeah, just text your Sam, text me and Patrick and say, send me the screenshots. And we can text those to you. Jesse and I can text them to you, Celestia. So just text me and Jesse, and Kyla, you know, text me and Kenzie. Austin, you can text me and Shay. Same thing with you, Chase. Okay. So if you want us to text it to you. But here's the thing. If it's on your computer, you're probably doing your demo on your computer. So it's on your computer. That's better anyway, right? Okay. So we can send you those. And by the way, look at this, guys. Give me 3 fingers. 3 fingers. You can ignore this side. It's just gobbledygook. But look over here. Normal buy now bonus on a homemaker. Nod your head if you understand that one. Then you give extra free stuff, Chase. Nod your head if you understand, sweeten the deal for Uncle Phil, right? And then finally, if they won't do that, then you could do this discount where you give them the bare bones on a homemaker. Give me 3 fingers. What you basically have now is 3 options per set. Now, I am not saying you're going to offer all 3 on every set. That would be a little extensive, right? But what if they almost do this, Sam? If they almost do this right here on the homemaker, but then you go, tell you what, Aunt Betty, we got the galley, and she loves the galley. It's already more affordable. And then she's like, could I do that same discount if I traded in some free stuff, traded in my old knives? And can you give me that discount on the galley set? And guess what? You're getting that set discount. And you sell a galley set. But again, it only works on what sets, guys? It only works on what? Table knife or, you know, steak knife sets only. You guys understand that one, right? And again, what's the answer if you freaking forgot everything Phil taught you? Just call, okay? Now do you understand why Steve Pierce, freaky, weird, sold 5 galley sets in a row? What? Every one of them was this deal. I don't know how seriously, they must have all been related, but somehow he sold 5 galleys in a row. I'll take 1. I'll take 2. Yes or yes. Right? You'll take them too, right? So last couple things about sales. Upgrading, and Celestia and maybe 1 or 2 of you. If you had a little lower average order, if you were like below 400 average order, it's probably they already had Cutco. A lot of new reps aren't quite sure how to make that like list bigger. Nod your head if you can relate. You're like, yeah, I didn't know how to make it to even give good deals. Let me make sure. If you didn't write it down once, let me just make sure you hear this and maybe write it down. It's more fun to buy more Cutco than it is to buy less Cutco. It's way more fun to buy more Cutco than less. And so what you want to do in the demo is get good at page 16. Page 16. Do you guys remember page 16? This is when they already buy a homemaker, they already buy a set, or they say, it's too much. I can't afford it. And maybe you've already done like the customizing options. But again, they already own Cutco, or they just want to buy a bunch of stuff and just don't argue, and they just want to buy, they don't want no homemaker sets. They ain't down with the homies. Okay. And if they don't quite want that, you got to get good at this. Mr. Jones, I'm going to run you through our products so that you know what else we have. And as I go things, if there's anything you don't have interest in, just tell me and I'll skip the next slide. And if there's anything that interests you, let me know and I will work out a good deal. If you ever go to a restaurant, if you ever go to a car dealership, if you ever go anywhere and the salesperson, now you know they're a salesperson, and they say, just tell me what you want, I'm going to hook you up. How many guys are like, whatever you say, dude, I love you. I freaking can't wait to buy whatever I buy, I can't wait to buy from you. Sometimes your customers, what they actually need is your conviction. It's not sometimes, it is all the time. If you looked at your customer and say, Aunt Betty, you have 5 kids. I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice to even buy a galley set. I think you should buy the homemaker. Is she going to be offended at you if you told her that? Miss Jones, you got 5 kids. What do you think the customer's going to think? Man, that's what I needed, Ellie. I actually needed you to tell me to buy this, that the galley is too small. I'm not saying you're going to twist her arm, make her buy the galley. I'm just saying sometimes they just need to see your conviction. Who could have done a little better job of that this weekend? Yeah. Here's why. I'm going to pause for a second and say, don't make selling about you. If you here's why and how new reps of all people, they make it about themselves. Here's when they start thinking of being pushy. I'm being pushy. I don't want to offend someone. I don't want to make them feel like, I feel guilty telling them something. That's making it about who? You. Your feelings don't matter worth a hill of beans. Keep it clean here. Okay? Your feelings don't matter. What matters is what's best for the customer. What matters is that they will use Cutco till the day they die. They'll buy it once, use it every day, never have to buy it ever again, and they'll save time, money, and energy. It's called boldness, but not overbearance, right, Austin? You have to be bold and say, Miss Jones, I think you'd love the galley set, but I think with 6 kids, you probably will run out of knives daily. And sometimes you'll sell them a set because of that type of conviction. And look at me, they will have more fun buying a homemaker than dropping down to 4 knives. And they'd rather buy a homemaker. And the same thing goes, Celestia, for upgrading when they already own Cutco. So what you're going to do is your job is to help them have fun and say, look, if you don't want something, if you're not interested, just tell me, I'll skip. But you know what? Anything you like, let's put it down on a list and we'll make what we call your like list. Okay, so Miss Jones, do you ever host holiday or company events? Well, these are great. A lot of people like 6, 8, or 12, blah, blah, blah. And you can show these. Again, you're using these slides. What is this, guys? This is literally someone put together beautiful pictures. Tell me that's not delectable. And I would do this. I don't know if it works exactly the same way on your customer side of things. And then when you go to this, you say, Miss Jones, if she goes, no, we don't need flatware, then move on. But this is one thing I would say, Miss Jones, Cutco is not cheap. Flatware that's guaranteed forever. This is the best, most discounted stuff you can buy. Comes in a chest. And then I move down to here. And what am I doing? Right? 2 seconds. Okay. And if they're not interested in cookware, Ellie, move on. Right? And you're building the like list. So write this down, build the like list so there's room to drop down. Celestia, if you only get 3 items on the like list, you're probably not going to sell very much. But if you can get 10 items on the like list and they don't buy 10, but they buy 6, now who just increased her sales? Right? And who's happier with 6 items versus 3? So the way to do it is to build up the like list beyond what they would actually buy, because then you have room to drop down to the stuff they're really, really interested in. Right? And don't forget using both of these pictures, right? And then you go down to the cheese knives and you show all 3 of them. And I love being able to show them, look, this knife is for these size of blocks. This knife matches your other Cutco knives. This one is the smaller blocks, right? And I like this one. I call that the charcuterie board or charcuterie cheese knife. Got the different chopping vegetable knives, right? And you're just breezing through. If she's not interested, move along, bro. Make sure you show that fishing knife video. That fishing knife video is fantastic. 49 seconds, and they show how you got a hook sharpener, you got pliers on that sheath, right? They got a knife sharpener. You can remove and make that blade come out 6 to 9 inches, dude. Who's your daddy? Cutco. All right. There you go. Okay. Comes apart for easy cleaning. Show that video. Show this guy. Oh, wait a minute. Did you guys see that we have pink and green camo now? You guys know this, right? It's probably the last slide. Barbecue sets, gift sets, boom-bitty boom. Wellness mats. These things are amazing. I have them in the office. I have them at home. They're so good. Business gifts. Business gifts. Right? Bye, dude. All right. And then we got green table knives and then the pink and green camo. Okay. So when you make that like list large, right? You make that like list. Two things to write down, guys. 3 things to write down. Just so you know, Cutco flatware is guaranteed forever. Just so you know, Cutco cookware is guaranteed forever. Just so you know, if you break a hunting knife, you get a new one. Just so you know, the fishing knife is amazing. And then can you see yourself using this over a lifetime? That right there, so I'm just talking to Celestia like as if we've, I feel like we talked about this. You had like 6 orders, but they're a little smaller, right? Cutco owners, you say, can you see yourself using this over a lifetime? They're like, yes. And that makes it easy to put it on the like list. So you have room to drop down. And then how many? How many this time of year might be the best time of year to talk about how many. Because gifts for their married children, gifts for their single children. Tell me every set of married kids can't use a pizza cutter for their kids to cut up all their pancakes, waffles, blah, blah, blah. Tell me every not married college kid could use a pizza cutter in their house or in their apartment, right? So when you say how many pizza cutters, how many studio sets? One time Calvin said, hey, how many galley sets do you want to buy? And the lady wound up buying 3 galley sets from him. Because she's like, I thought about it. I wanted one for me, but then I've got my son-in-law and I got my daughter-in-law or sons and my daughter, that type of thing. 2 sets of married kids. She bought 3 galley sets. Doesn't mean they're going to buy 3 galley sets, but who'd take 3, gift sets, right? That's pretty awesome. Okay. Moving right along. The last thing we're going to cover, we got 9 minutes. Okay. Is building your list. Because guys, there's always more people. If you haven't seen all 20 of your top 20, shame, I know your name. Like you got to get those top 20 people set up. Okay, get those top 20 people set up. I'm just moving this because Patrick and Shay get mad at me if I don't fix this in the, the thing. Okay. Oh, I gotta fix it. Okay, so there and there. All right. So got it, guys. So do yourself a favor and make sure if you haven't seen all 20 of your top 20, just do it. You're missing out. There's every single one of them that would book. But now let me go back here and say, you got to increase your names list. I would write down chicken list and I would write down mission 100. Chicken list and mission 100. You have people on your list. You are just a big fat chicken and you haven't called people. And I'm serious, big fat chicken, because I was a big fat chicken. And 6 months later, in fact, 2.5 years later, I thought of people I should have called. There is for sure 100% a bunch of people in your list of people that you know. Here's a great one. Your mom's Facebook. Even if you don't have Facebook, go stalk your mom's Facebook friends and you'll be like, I know her, I know her, I know her, I know her, I know her. And you'll know like 80% of her Facebook friends. What do? Get their information, right? How do you do it? You can ask mom and dad, but you don't say, hey, mom, can you give me some more names? They'll be like, what are you talking about? I'll give you 2 names. But what you do is you get their names and go ahead and click on this link in the chat box, guys, truepeoplesearch.com. And you could find half the people that you think of, that you stalk, that you find, that you see. You could easily get more names to call, right? Just go to truepeoplesearch.com and you could search for you could find people really, really easily, okay? And your parents' coworkers. You probably know, even if you don't know them, Ms. Jones, or you say Aunt Betty, mom, dad, who do you know from work? And they're like, oh, I know like 7 people. Say, I need people from your work. And again, if you have conviction in getting those names, they will have conviction in giving them. Let me say it again. If you have conviction in asking for them, they for sure will give them to you. But if you're a wussy, if you're a weenie, if you're asking, can you give me some names because I'm lazy? They're like, no. But when you share your goal, I need to get 100 people to call Aunt Betty. And so I need more people, and you can think of more people. And the other thing is there's a whole bunch of people you could have thought of and you did think of, but you didn't get their names and numbers. That's why I gave you the website. But if you don't have 100 people on your list already, because you never know who's going to give you the biggest list. And guys, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Who remembers from the video with Hal? It's like, get out of your comfort zone, bro. That is for sure. Like all the success you want to have in your fast start is happening by getting out of your comfort zone, period, on the job, but in life. And now I'm going to say, how do you get out of your comfort zone? Well, here's you in your girlish figure. Okay, right, Austin? Right, here's you in your comfort zone. These are the people you called this weekend, and look at me. If you stunk at getting referrals or you think you stunk at getting referrals, raise your hand. You think you stunk at it. Here's why you stunk at it. Because 1, you were brand new. 2, you were thinking about selling and nervous and making mistakes, and you might have forgotten to even ask. And then here's the funny thing. Doesn't your aunt refer you to your other aunts? And doesn't people from your church refer you to people from your church? And they know hundreds of people that are not in your church, but I will tell you, they will only give you these to start. But look at me, guys. Get out of your comfort zone. By the way, that's why it doesn't matter if you stunk at referrals. You don't stink. You're brand new, and the people that know you really, really well are probably going to think of 80% of the people you already thought of. So it's kind of like whatever if you forgot. And the other reason, look at me, is you can actually ask your aunt and your people from church. You can ask them for referrals for like 5 months. Like literally in 2026, you could be asking some of those people for referrals next year. And they'll be like, yeah, I'll give you some more, Sam. Here's some more people. Here's some more people. But that's because they know you really well. What you want to do, Kyla, is get out here. But first, you got to do a lot of demos. But get out here of people that you aren't as comfortable or aren't as familiar with. Because if you get out of that list, right, then they'll give you a whole bunch of referrals that are out here on the second valence electron shell. Okay, and if you get out in that shell, you start getting more referrals out there and you start getting out here. Last analogy I want to give you is driving down the road in a car. Who's ever driven a stick shift, driven a car on the highway? Raise your hand. Can you drive a car in first gear on the highway? No, you will burn your engine. You will light your car on fire. It's an easy way to start fire, okay? Is just drive your car in first gear on the highway. And look at me, guys. Can you drive your car in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th gear in a school zone? Nope. You will stall your engine because you can't go 20 miles an hour in 6th gear. You with me on that? You can't drive slow on the high gear and you can't drive fast in the low gear. Why am I bringing that up? It's because there's an order for everything. You start in first gear, second gear, third gear. Does everyone understand? You got to go in order on the gears. Well, guys, imagine this is driving a car with 6 gears on it. The first people you need to call are the people that are reschedules. You freaking have to reschedule those people. So go back to your original list, find the people that you have not booked with, and get them rescheduled. Second gear, give me 2 fingers. Second gear is calling back the people that said, call me back. Oh, I'm too busy, Kyla. Call me in November. Because it was Halloween, right? Call me next week. Call me next week. Call me next week, guys. That's your second gear. Third gear is people from your initial list that you haven't even called yet. You got to call those people. Holy moly, call those people. Please call those people. Got it? Next one is your acquaintances. Acquaintances. People that said, oh, or you haven't even called them yet, but you know them, but you kind of know them. You don't really know them, but you do know them. You with me on that? Right? Then it's people that you do know, right? From directories that you haven't called yet. And then finally, recommendations. But don't be, look at me, guys, look at me. Don't call recommendations. I'm talking to people, if you've sold less than 10 grand, you still have a buttload of people you could still call. Even if you've sold 10 grand by now, you still have more people you should call. You just are making excuses of why you can't think of them. You haven't sat down to do it. I would not call recommendations, except if you got referred, nod your head if you got referred to people you know. You're like, I know them, they referred me, but I know them. Well, then use the same phone approach, call them and just say, oh, by the way, John referred you also. Mrs. Jones referred you also, but you know people. Then you can call them. They're like first, second, third gears. But I wouldn't go on 6th gear until you really got cranking and you want to have mission 100. You want to have 100 people that you can call right now. Right? Because what if that person is the one that would buy a signature set if you just would have called them, but you didn't? I'm going to wrap up with your assignments. Guys, there's so many prizes to win in your fast start. So much Cutco. And you got 7 days left of your fast start, bro. Let's go. Okay. So I'm going to go past this and say assignments. Number 1, you can take a screenshot of this if you want, but 1, get your first sale. If you haven't got your first sale, get your first pay raise if you already got it. Secondly, and get that second order so you get your peeler. Make sure you're calling before, during, after demos. You're never going to sell less Cutco by calling in more often. Number 3 is make sure you submit your QPR tonight. Make sure you're booking more appointments tonight. Tonight, you'll get a hold of so many people if you make calls on a Monday night. There's less dance, basketball, soccer on a Monday versus a Tuesday. Tuesday is always soccer, right? But Monday isn't as much soccer, right? Book more demos, get more names in the app. And remember, Thursday night, besides Champs Club's in the morning, and then Thursday night team meeting. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for being here. Let's make sure we rock the rest of the